Alright, so I'm going to teach you guys how to use the Sales Rabbit. So I'm going to go into Sales Hub. You can view the map like this, see some of the places you've knocked at. Like I'm not interested right there. I have ink over here. Right. So, trying to give you an idea of places that you can go to and such. So, quite a few homes out here, right? Anyways, I'm going to teach you the main priority stuff to deal with on here, and everything else really just doesn't matter. So, you're going to click on the add button, and right here, can I erase that? Right? So, this right here is NA. That means no answer. This is whenever you knock on a door and no one wanted to answer. NI, that is not interested. This is if you knock on a door, you get an answer, but they just weren't interested or they were a renter. You couldn't get an inspection from it. The purple is inspection. This is whenever you inspected a property, but you are unable to get any ink off of it. Soft set is a reappointment for to do an inspection for someone, like if they didn't have time or something of the sort, you had to create a reappointment for them, to set an appointment. Estimate, that is whenever you present an estimate from someone and you weren't able to close the deal, but it lets you keep up with who you've given an estimate to. Ink, obviously, that's if you get a contract or a contingency. So I'm going to erase these real quick. Alright, so get this back. Alright, so if you go and knock on a door, I usually recommend to go ahead and do it as you're walking up to the door. Just click the location button right here. So it pulled up my address, and then I click on no answer. And boom, it registered or not. You can go back, click on add, do it again. Down here, you can set an appointment up right here, and it'll notify you when that appointment is. And if you come up here, in order for it to be a soft set, you need name, phone number, address, date, and time. So you can put all of that information in up here, and then just click the soft set button. Then set an appointment, which will allow you to be able to go back out there at that scheduled date, or you can put it in your Google Calendar. Now, if you're wanting to, these right here, these are unnecessary. You can completely ignore those pins. Alright, now when you need to register a contingency or a contract, you're going to click on Forms, and you're going to click on Report Contingency. If you have all of the information here, it'll automatically populate to here, and the only thing you would need is the insurance company and claim number, and then click on the Submit button up here, and it'll register the contingency. If you need to do report your revenue, you want to come up here. It'll either be one of these four that you choose. They're self-explanatory: lead gen cash deal, lead gen insurance deal, self-gen cash deal, self-gen insurance deal. Okay, so self-gen is whenever you create it yourself, or lead gen is whenever you get the lead from corporate. Okay, and then total contract price, the rest of this should automatically populate if you have it right here on the first page. Now, anytime you get ink, or you need to send over a soft set, stuff like that, so that you can do the inspection report in Service Titan, you're going to click on Forms, and you're going to click on Service Titan Submission. Right here, all of their information should go ahead and populate. That way, the only thing you have to set forth is the date and time, the lead tab, whether it's self-gen or canvassing, or and click on whether it was a referral or not. Okay, so that's how you use Sales Rabbit. If you need to look up a contingency form and explain it to a homeowner, if you're doing it, electronically, you can come here, click on GA contracts because we're in Georgia or Alabama, and then boom, click on that, and it pulls it up. Then you can explain what the contingency form is if you don't have a paper form on hand. All right, so to basically summarize the contingency form, this is a work authorization form that allows us to work on behalf of the insured at no additional cost, and what they're agreeing upon is allow us to do the work if we are able to help them get a full roof replacement. If we exhaust all of our resources and somehow insurance still says no, then they're not obligated to do business with us. Now, there is a $500 fee if they breach the roofing agreement. You want to make sure you explain that well. Hey, we're working on your behalf at no cost. You're agreeing to allow us to do the work if we can help get the roof paid for. And it's a protection basis on both parties. And that should be easily understood to them. Okay? Peace. So, I'm just going to show you guys how to use your Amplify real quick. So you got your Sales Rabbit right here and your Amplify. You can just click on the Amplify app, or if you're already in Sales Rabbit, you got the Amplify button right here. So that'll let you go ahead and transfer over. Now, when you transfer over to it, you're probably going to see a screen like this, okay? So what you can do is click on the dashboard up here at the top right corner. It could be in a different location if you have an iPhone. And then click on Personal Dashboard. Make sure it's today's date. And this is how you can keep up with your numbers at the end of the night to post them. So you got your knocks, your talks, your walks, your soft sets, contingencies, approvals, contracts, and revenue value. Of course, how we put them in at the end of the day doesn't necessarily match what this is, but this helps you keep up with what your numbers are at the end of the day, and you should know what the correct format is by now, okay? So, I want to show you guys something that's super duper cool. You can report, battle, and endorsement here. So this is whenever you're endorsing your coins, right? So I'm going to show you what you can endorse, okay? So we have the achievements here. The achievements that you can get is like the Megalodon, right? The Megalodon, ink a single 100,000 plus contract, okay? You'll get coins for that. You get 10,000 coins for the Megalodon, okay? The Knocking Mentalist, 75 doors in one day. That's 75 coins. Knocking Mage, that's 120 coins, alright? So that's 200 doors in a week. You got Hat Trick, Stone Cold, Cold Trapper, right? I'm at 1 contract for the month. If I get 15 contracts in a month, guess what? That's 700 coins right there, okay? And I've done all of these. Close 10 contracts in a month, Double Trouble, Take a Bow. There's a bunch of different achievements you can meet and even keep track of on here, okay? So, alright. If you want to endorse it, you can go to rewards, or if you want to know what your rewards are. This right here will show you what each achievement is to unlock the coins, okay? And how much the coins are, right? I mean, just creating a soft set gives you 10 coins, okay? And an inspection gives you 20 coins, right? Now, my cool thing is the rewards that you can trade in for. $50 Amazon gift card. All you need is 800 coins. 50 BCR merch gift card. 800 coins. Dude, a 4-day cruise for only 50,000 coins. Alright? A 75-inch TV. Only 5,000 coins. Look at this. I'm at 3,516. If I was a full-on sales rep, I'll be able to get any of this right now. Okay? Atom 2 drone, 3,800. A hat, 600. Another one, 500. A polo shirt, 1,000. The BCR Nike backpack, only 1,000. So there's a bunch of different stuff. A Yeti cooler, a cup, a Blackstone griddle, a helicopter, a lunch with me if you want to. Hey, I'll take you out for a steak dinner. I'm cool with that. A MacBook, the Gen 1 Meta glasses, the NFL tickets, the NHL tickets, a roofing goat. Now this is probably what I only got 500 coins left to go. This is probably what I'm going to invest in. So this will allow you to get on the real steep slopes. So this is like insanely useful right here, for sure. And then a steak dinner right there, okay? So, bunch of cool stuff to get. Alright guys, so I'm on the Service Titan mobile app. I'm using my phone. So I just wanted, I'm already like halfway through this. You know, I presented this estimate, I think Saturday afternoon. And she was unable to get approved for financing. So since I still have it up, I'd like to go ahead and give like a breakdown of how to use Service Titan. All right. So, excuse me. You're gonna go in the dispatch. You've already dispatched yourself to it, right? Once you get there, right, you're looking at all your stuff. I already got my photos and everything, but you're gonna click on arrive. So I've already arrived to the job, right? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me back up. All right, so you're gonna come over here, right? You're gonna click on forms. Normally, whenever you arrive, it'll automatically have you do the inspection report. But this is a requirement on every single job you do in Service Titan, no matter what. So if you can remember what the photos are, even whenever you're on the property and you're getting them signed up right then and there, to save yourself some time, go ahead and get those photos on the initial property inspection for Sales Rapid, right? So you're going to go in here, inspection or no inspection. You're going to click inspection. Is it an insurance job or not? You're going to click on insurance or no insurance. What is the job type? It'll always be replacement. You'll never do these other ones, okay? All right. You're going to have 8 perimeter photos. This is mainly just photos from the ground of the entirety of the property, perimeter photos. Kind of no different than your hover photos, okay? After that, all right, so the necessary production photos, I mean, it's technically not a requirement because it's all the same photos of the perimeter photos, really. So it's not a requirement. Now, the driveway entry photos are a requirement. You can either take them from the front to the end of the driveway or from the end of the driveway to the front. The reason why this photo is important is to know where they can put the dumpster at and to see what cracks are in the driveway, because it has happened in the past where we put a dumpster on the driveway and next thing you know, the homeowner's saying, well, you guys cracked my driveway, so you got to pay for it, even though that crack was already there. So this protection thing on yourself and others. Now, layer photos. This is what you will do whenever you put your ladder on the edge of the home and you lift up the shingles above the drip edge and the fascia to see if it has more than one layer of shingles. That's the purpose of the layer photos, okay? trouble areas. Trouble areas is anything that you see previously damaged, because homeowners never really look at their property until work is done. So the trouble areas is kind of no different than the driveway, just making sure you catch on to anything damaged that could possibly get damaged during the install process, so that you have before photos and you can show the homeowner, well, hey, this was actually damaged before we ever did the install. All slope photos. You can get them from the ground, but they do prefer it to be on top of the roof. And all you're doing is just getting overview photos of each slope on top of the roof. The left face, the right face, front face, and back face. Okay? Inspection video. If you are dealing with insurance and you are going to file a claim, then a storm damage video is always required, which is the initial video that you show to a homeowner, right? So you can upload that video in here and make sure you put your damage count in there as well. So if you have 20 wind damage shingles, you're going to put W equals 20. If you see 8 hail marks in each test square that you do, which is 10 by 10 test squares, you'll put that hail count as well, and you'll do it on each slope. So say you get 8 on each slope, 8, 16, then 16 plus 16, that's what, 32, I think, something like that. So you'll put hail equals 32 or something like that. But you're just putting your damage count in, right? However it is that you do it, whether it's 10, 20 wind damage or 16 hail damage, etc. The eave soffit photos, as you can see right here, and this is exposed soffit that you can see in this, right? This is exposed soffit where you can actually see the rafters and there's nothing covering it. So this is an exposed soffit. So you want to make sure you know what kind that is. The exposed soffits do not have ventilation. The closed soffits have ventilation. That's the primary way you can tell whether it's exposed or not exposed. Alright? But you want to make sure you take photos of what kind of soffit it is, which is the underside of the eave. The attic intake photos. Now, this is a requirement, and we do want to do attic inspections so we can know what kind of decking it is and how many decking we could possibly need ahead of time, so we can make sure we get them ordered to help the install go smoother, and you make your commission off of the decking as well. So if you can do attic intake photos, make sure that you do that. Now, I understand that there are times where the attic is not accessible. So if it is not accessible, just take a photo of the entrance of the attic and put it in there so you can bypass this problem. Once you do that, you're going to click on, does it have skylights or not? You're going to put yes or no. If you put yes, it's going to ask you how many, and you're going to put how many, like for instance, like, right? So it's going to say if it's yes, it's going to ask for skylight 1. If it's a skylight 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to ask for how many and photos of each, okay? But of course, there was no skylights on this, so I clicked on no. Now, the estimate creator. So this is, say for instance, you did a hover on the property and you were able to get the measurements yourself while you're on the property. This estimate creator allows you to create an estimate while you're in the field. So what you're going to do is products of interest is asphalt. Are you offering the standard option? You always click yes. The existing roofing material is asphalt or metal, etc. Whatever kind of materials that is pre-existing on the roof. The number of layers, how many chimneys, what kind of chimneys there are, which is brick. Does it have exposed soffit? Yes. Existing skylights, 0. Replacing skylight, 0. And it's kind of like a checkoff list as well. So pipe boots, you're going to use the neoprene. We always use neoprene, right? You're going to click on 3 because there was 3 of them. How many box vents did it have? That was 0, which is the small square box vents, or what I refer to you guys as the 550 vents or the 750 vents. The power vent is, of course, you guys seen that in the training. You know what a power vent is. The best way to describe it is a UFO vent, right? The turbines or the whirlybirds up there, the little spinny spin vents. And then you got gooseneck vents. Those are the exhaust vents up there. Does it have off-ridge vents or not? Really don't see that in this area, but if it does, make sure you put, are we replacing the off-ridge vents? Decking. There was no decking needed. Normally we prefer to charge that on the back end, but like I said, if we can know how much decking is needed ahead of time, not only do we make sure you get commission off of that, which you do on change orders and all that anyway, but we just want to make sure that, we make sure that we know how much decking is needed. All right. Chimney removal, 0. Chimney cricket, 0. This is if a chimney has a pre-existing cricket, you'll put 0. If it does not have an existing cricket and we need to add a cricket, we need to put that on there so we know that that chimney needs a cricket. That is usually, I believe it's 33 to 36 inches above that a cricket is mandatory, okay, according to code compliance. How many stories of the roof? You're going to always put, if it's 1 story, you're going to put 1. Additional structures, you'll put 0 if we're not doing an additional structure. If we're doing like an offset garage or something, then you'll put a 0. Number of solar panels, of course, that one had 0, so we're going to put 0. Now, this is whenever you're putting in your measurements from Hover over to the estimate creator. The squares to install is 19 and the squares to tear off is 19. Those two numbers will always be the same, and you will use the suggested waste factor from Hover. Now, if you're unaware of what the suggested waste factor is, please contact me and I will tell you what the suggested factor is. But we want to keep it between a 12 to 18%, depending on how complex the roofing system is. Right? So we did 12%. 12 is the minimum. We do not go below 12%. Okay? Now you're going to get the pitch of the roof, which is the predominant pitch. Unless there's a flat area, then you'll put how many squares the flat area is, which Hover will inform you how much that is. Okay, so you just got to know how to read Hover. If you don't know how to read Hover, we will go over that. Okay, so 212, 0, 312, 0, 412, 5, 612, put 19 because that is the predominant pitch factor of that roof. We put 19 squares. 7, 12, 18, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it goes all the way up to 16, okay? Now the eaves, you're going to get that from the Hover report as well, and or Eagle View. If we go ahead and have an Eagle View ordered ahead of time, you can really skip this entire process because it'll automatically populate over. So 165, rakes 37, ridges, the hips amount which is 54 feet. The valleys, this roof did not have any valleys, so that was a 0. And then wall flashing and step flashing. Because I had an Eagle View ordered ahead of time, I didn't have to go through this. It was already populated into the system if an Eagle View was put in. All right. So I'm going to back up from this. Appointment reports, that's just it. That's not a requirement to move forward, but it's basically it's just letting us know what happened during that lead or during that demo, etc. Letting us know whether it got approved of, whether it not got approved of, and it's kind of like for you to keep track of what happens on the property and whether to go back to it or not. Okay. Now you got the destination motivation condo acceptance form or the destination motivation cruise acceptance form. Okay. So this is whenever we offer the Ultimate Plus and we want to give them a condo or a cruise voucher. Okay. Now, this right here, send contingency. If you have already filed the claim and everything, and you got everything populated into the system correctly, you just click on send contingency. You'll click on Eagle View, select. So, signature type, I'll always do it in person. So you're going to click on in person. The BCR representative name is myself, so I put Terry Bullard. And then the email will be my email as well. If it's only one homeowner signing, which I recommend just keeping it as one homeowner, because trying to do it with two is very difficult. It just takes way too long and you have to duplicate it and all this and that. So just, if you can keep it at one signature, keep it at one signature. The homeowner's name was Felicia Pearsons. Her email, her phone number, so it's already populated. This part right here, the best time to call from, is not mandatory. So you can just get it skipped, okay? Product and services to be provided. Right here, you can just put roofing services. And then the data loss, which let's just say we had a hailstorm come through today, which today is the 10th. So we'll put today's date, right? We'll put 05/10/26, hail and wind, right? That way you know what's going on with it. Then you'll put the insurance company number, and then insurance company, and then the insurance claim number right here. Once you file the claim, you'll click on complete and do the sign now, which it'll send you an email first. Just give it a couple seconds for it to be sent to you. You sign it, click on finish. Then couple seconds after, it'll send you a new email. You let the homeowner sign it. Once they click on finish, it'll send a new email of the completed contingency form to both parties, which is yourself and the homeowner. Okay? So I'm going to back out of that. If you want to do a send contract, which you'll just click on Eagle View here. It's the same exact thing. Signature type, sign in person. It's always better to do sign in person. Your name, your email, one homeowner signature. Trust and believe me, I would highly recommend keeping it at one if you can keep it at one. Okay? It'll automatically populate the homeowner's contact information. The cancellation date will be 3 business days from the day you're signing it, right? So say for instance, you're signing it on that Friday, then the cancellation date will be that Wednesday, because Saturday and Sunday are not business days. Product and services to be provided. So I'll just use the same thing that I did back in the day, which is remove existing shingles, or you can put materials. Remove existing materials. Inspect decking. Apply new synthetic underlayment. Replace with new shingles. And this is important too, so you can keep up with what color you're going to do the drip edge with. I primarily focus on selling the black drip edge. So I'm going to put black drip edge, pipe boots, and vents. Remove all waste for disposal. If you gave them any upgrades, such as you upgraded them to HDZ, you'll put upgrade to HDZ. If you gave them an upgrade to Ridge Vents, which all of this costs, so you need to get with me on, upgrade to ridge vents, or you upgraded them on a warranty, whether it's silver pledge warranty or golden pledge warranty. So let's just say we gave them the golden pledge warranty with the HDZ. You'll put upgrade to golden pledge warranty. This will also allow you to put in any other notes you need to have to let anyone know about, okay? Myself, the production managers and all that, like full redeck system, which is replacing all of the wood on the home, or anything in particular as far as upgrades go. You know, we're removing satellite, etc., just so you can keep up with, and you can do it on your checkoff list form as well, okay? But that's what you want to do. Upgrade to HDZ, upgrade to ridge vents, upgrade to golden pledge, etc., right? Then shingle manufacturer, it will always be GAF, shingle type, HDZ, shingle color, let's say is barkwood. Now the down payment, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but this is where you're going to put how they are paying for the roof. So say for instance it's 12 grand and it's a cash deal. You're going to put 6 grand as the down payment and cash due is 6,000. If they financed, you're going to put 12 grand here, 0 here, and the amount they financed was 12 grand, right? And then of course you're going to put 0 here, 0 here if we did not go through insurance, okay? So let's say for instance it's an insurance deal and we're doing it at 12 grand. Insurance paid 12,000. We do it at 12,000, okay? Say for instance their ACV check is 5 grand. You're going to put 5 grand as the down payment. The cash balance due upon completion will be 12,000 minus the 5,000, which makes it 7 grand. Okay. Now, say for instance they want to finance it. They can finance the whole amount if they choose to and keep the insurance money. But for right now, we're going to put 0. The insurance deductible amount was 1,000, which means the amount being paid by insurance is 11,000. Consider this as just where the money is being allocated and how it's getting paid, okay? And then, of course, is this contract for Illinois? You're always going to put no. All right, I'm going to back out of this, all right? Before you get the contract signed, you're going to go to estimates and you're going to click on one of these, whichever one they choose to go with. So say for instance it's the Ultimate Plus. You're going to go up here and you see how it says price and display. No one needs to know what we pay for materials and stuff like that. So you're going to click on show all pricing and hide line item pricing. All right. Then you're going to click on this, double check it, add anything that you need to add the color, etc. If they're doing ridge vents, this is also a way to, like if they need decking and that wasn't added ahead of time, you can click on edit, add items, roofing, say add decking. We do 4x8 sheets. Let's just say we're using 4x8 sheets. Add, view item, and then you can increase how many is needed, okay? And then click on add to estimate if they need it. Now, you can back out of this. You're going to click on present proposal, present remaining 2. You're going to click on this and then click accept and sign signature and make sure the homeowner signs it, okay, if they accept that proposal. Then you go over and you get the contract signed, all right? And that's really it. That's exactly how you use ServiceTitan. Then you'll click on closeout and you'll either mark myself as done or schedule another appointment. I highly recommend once you sign a contract, just go ahead and mark yourself as done on it. If you're dealing with insurance and you have adjuster meetings coming up, etc., do schedule another appointment and until you have it all the way completed into a contract, okay? And then click on closeout and complete. And then boom, you're good, right? So that is how you use ServiceTitan. If you guys have any questions on this, please let me know, all right? Peace.
Show you how to make an estimate in your ServiceTitan field app. This is when you have an Eagle View already attached to it. You're going to see here is our contact, William McMillan. You go into your forms, it's going to be option 2, the estimate creator. You're going to click on that Eagle View. It's going to pull everything up once it loads. So you see the name, the address, what type of roof are we creating an estimate for? This is where we're going to be taking care of asphalt, metal, tile, any of those different ones. So in this case, we're doing an asphalt roof. Honestly, having a standard in there, it's not that we're going to typically show them, but in my opinion, it's good to already have it created just because it's much easier in the process. So right here, it's asking what type of roofing material is on there currently. Right now we have asphalt. We checked our layers. We got 1 layer on this. There's also 1 chimney. The chimney material on this one is going to be wood. So exposed soffit, you guys know what exposed soffit is. If you don't, it's when you can actually see the rafters and the decking underneath, and you would actually potentially be able to see nails through. More often than not, you're going to see closed soffit or vented soffit. So we don't have exposed soffit. In this case, we do actually have 2 skylights. So we're putting on 2 skylights for flashing. We're not replacing them. So we'll put 0 there. I do have some neoprene boots. So we got 4 of those. I got 0 box vents, 0 power vents. It's going to ask turbines. If you have any goosenecks, if you say yes, it's going to give you the size options. You got to put 0 in there if you have that. Also off ridge vents. Most people aren't going to see this. Some of the places in the deep south will have that. So if you have questions, just ask. We're going to have it at no. For decking, so it automatically includes 4 boards. If you know you need any additional decking, this is where you're going to put that in. We'll go 4x8. If you need more sheets, then you can put as many as you need in there, or if you need additional slat decking. In this case, I don't need any decking additional, so I'll put that here. We're not removing a chimney. If you need a cricket, this is where you would put that in. For this one, I do not need a cricket, so there's 0. We are on a 2-story roof. 0 as well for the additional structures, 0 for my solar panels. So this is our squares to install and tear off. You need to have a minimal of 15% waste on this. I actually checked my Eagle View and we need to be at 18% with the complexity of the roof. And if you look here, it's going to automatically put in your squares. If you do have a low slope roof or you need mod bit on this top option up here, you're going to need to select rolled roofing. It will add that section. If you have a screen porch or a porch with metal, you'll also add that metal roof part. It would make it much simpler for you. So with this, you see all of our different squares. Okay. Go down. We got our eaves, rakes, ridges, all that's in there. If you have to do a hover or you get a 2D Eagle View, then unfortunately you're going to have to put all of these in. So make sure you have that measurements pulled up on another screen so you can easily look at it. Once you're completed, it's actually going to have this complete button down here. It's going to be highlighted so I can move forward. You have to select every option to be able to do it. So now we have it completed. It's going to have the view estimates. If you don't see it at first, at times, you just need to exit out, come back in, and voila, we have our estimates here, standard, insurance, and ultimate plus. So hope this helps.